Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest episode of, Star Wars The Bad Batch, which dropped yesterday on Disney Plus. With all the ongoing, continuing news and announcements and coverage we've been getting from the online Comic-Con event for the past couple of days and well into tomorrow, I had almost forgotten to do my episode review for the latest episode of Bad Batch, so here I am doing it right now. Before I begin, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you're not caught up on Star Wars The Bad Batch by this episode or the past couple episodes, you may not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers. That being said, you have been warned. So let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, I still thought this was a pretty damn good episode. I saw some spoiler-free reviews online earlier. People were complaining how it was filler, it wasn't that good, it was boring, it was meh. But I rather enjoyed it. And not every single episode, as I've often repeated before, is always going to be super exciting or fulfilling in terms of character appearances and whatnot. So we just have to learn to enjoy with what we do get, and I enjoyed this episode just fine. I liked how this episode touched on how people can be complicated creatures. Obviously, if this up-and-coming young criminal crime lord who was trying to make a deal with the Pikes syndicate, if he was truly nasty, instead of just expelling and forcing Sid out of her own place, he could have killed her, he could have had her executed, or he could have murdered her herself, but he just simply forced her out and took over her business, And he also seemed to care deeply and genuinely for his pet Ruby. And he even was kind of looking out for Omega when they were both captives by this Pikes, and he said, don't bother or don't try, they'll kill you if you try. And, the end of the episode where Omega actually tried to save him from what she thought and we thought was going to be his execution, but the Pikes were just happy to get their spice and just punish him by cutting off one of his horns. So it was nice seeing the Pikes again. They have proven to be quite the enemy for any protagonist in the Star Wars universe. They had a big villainous presence in Solo, a Star Wars story, and then in the final season of Clone Wars, Ahsoka and the sisters went up against them as well. And they are people not to be messed with, as Sid repeatedly told the clones throughout the entire episode. So I was also kind of excited and hoping that the creatures that made the giant, that are making the infestation happen, were going to be those same ice spider things that we saw in Rebels and in the most recent second season of The Mandalorian. But they were really just giant, ugly flies, which were still pretty cool looking and nasty looking. But I was like, oh, guess it wasn't the creature I thought it would be. But oh well, I still liked this episode a lot. And I also liked how it showed that Sid, despite her very abrasive and not so caring appearance and tone, can be quite considerate and caring. And I also loved how she recruited her two regular patrons to help distract the bad guys long enough so they could sneak into the office and steal the spice shipment, which I thought was pretty funny. So I liked this episode just fine, and I think with this episode we only have 3 more left this season. Still no word yet as to whether or not this is a one and done season or if this is meant to be a recurring series. We simply just don't have that information yet. What we do know is that we only have 3 more episodes left of Star Wars The Bad Batch, and I'm very curious to see how it's all going to end. Well guys, thank you for watching my episode review. I hope you liked this episode of Bad Batch as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comments section. Have an awesome rest of your night and weekend if I don't see you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more ongoing, continuing Star Wars coverage. Have a great night, everybody, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.